guys. Hey, welcome to the Laura and Hour podcast with your girl, Laura Danny. I am so grateful to be here today. Oh my God, how you guys doing?
Good.
Peachy.
It's
Peachy.
nice to see y'all.
Yeah, same here. It's good to catch up with y'all. Been a minute.
Likewise.
Feels like
Some
Yes,
of y'all
yes.
faces. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my goodness. So today we have a very, very special guest. Um, I'm sorry. We got a very special guest. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself in his podcast. Go ahead, Kilo. Introduce yourself, please.
How you guys doing? I'm Kilo. Very glad to be here with the cast today. Kilo from the Regular Podcast, founder of the Regular Network. If y'all want to catch some content on there, we do DIY stuff. I talk about political news, black news, all type of news. We have the Comfy Couch on there. A lot of stuff going on. So y'all check me out. The Regular Network on YouTube and everywhere else. Thank y'all for having me.
oh, pleasure's all ours, man. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us in our topic today, which is going to be very interesting to cover. Shaka's here. Been a couple episodes without him. So Shaka, tell us what you've been up to the last couple weeks, man.
Just taking care of some family issues, working on some music, trying to get my peoples in sync to work to release this project.
Oh, the
So
bars. You bringing the bars back?
Oh snap!
I have
Woo!
actually I have actually took a back seat and I'm just doing production on this project for my people.
Oh,
All
wow. Okay.
right,
All
wow,
right. So we became
production.
Timbaland. Gotcha.
I haven't had a desire to rap
Shaka
for
is
the
always
last
working great.
few. I haven't had a desire to rap for a few, so I'm just gonna. It'll keep
Okay.
my mind creative. Let
There you
my people
go.
shine.
I mean, that's if you got sick beats and people want to spit bars on, do it, man.
Right,
So you're
right. Let's
saying this
let's
is me the
let's get
hype
into
man.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be
So,
a split star.
so
Got you. I got you.
Period.
So I have a couple of questions for Kilo before we actually get started. So Kilo, can you
Yep.
let us know? You told us the name of your podcast, but tell everyone how you got started and why you decided to launch your podcast.
I decided to launch a podcast because back in around 2016, podcasting was kind of new to me, but I had been
Mhm.
listening for maybe a year to different podcasts at that point, and I used to get a lot of conversations going on Facebook and stuff. So it was like people would say, "Yo, you should start one." So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna start a podcast," and here we are, however many years later. But it hasn't been consistent since 2016. But I have been consistently dropping content. So even when I lacked on my audio podcast, the regular podcast,
Uh
I
huh.
made sure my DIY show kept coming out, where I would do little projects around the house and all that type of stuff. So
Awesome. That
yeah,
is awesome. And this is his logos. And again, guys, the name of his podcast is the Regular Podcast. So make sure you guys check him out. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you today for coming.
thank
So
you.
today, guys,
Before we begin, sorry, I got a question too. So,
Mhm.
what's your trade, Kilo? Before you started this, what do you do on a
My
regular?
trade, I'm actually a programmer, computer programmer.
Get
So
out
I
of
don't
here!
do
what?
anything related to what I talk about.
Oh, wow! So, a fellow IT professional here. Right, nice, nice.
Every
I like
time,
that.
every time, it's like every time
I
we
like
get
that.
on here, we got someone who's an IT professional. That is what's up.
Hmm.
I love to see that. I love to see that. That is what's
Shout
up.
out to all the smart niggas. Shout out to y'all.
Well,
Right. Shout out
oh
to all the
shucks.
smart men. So guys, I want so guys, I kind of really want to dig into the question is for today because guess what? I'm so excited about this topic. So tonight's topic is, do you know your love language? And I know that a lot of people is like, what do you mean? Do you know your love language? But guess what? We all have a love language. And most of us on the panel today took a test. And B, did you get your results for your love language test?
Yes, it's actually has changed. Oh my gosh. So when I went through the class myself back in 2009,
Mhm.
2008, I think it was in 2008. When I went through it, it was a topic of like two things. There's a primary and a secondary. So mine was back then was words of affirmation and then physical touch. Those were my
Okay.
two. But today, after taking it, I have realized that it's now quality time and acts of service. Again, this is like
Acts of
years have
service.
passed. Yes, years have passed, and in the last 13 years, it shifted from one to the other, which is kind of makes sense because I do like doing QT because I've been traveling. I like traveling. I like doing things. I like doing things for those who I care for.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay.
it does make sense.
So that is so crazy because acts of service, I did not actually know that was a love language. So for my viewers on TikTok and my viewers on other social media platforms, one love language that others like myself did not know. I said others, that don't make no sense. But people like myself did not know was acts of service. Acts of service. I did not think that was a love language. It made absolutely no sense to me. But when you think about it, just showing appreciation or just fixing your man or your woman a dinner, those are acts of service. Those are examples of acts of service, or
Yep,
just gifts
cooking,
and stuff like
cleaning.
that. Yes.
Yep.
Some people actually, that's their actual love language. Jazz, what was your love language results?
Mine was words of affirmation and physical touch.
That's what mine was.
Mine's was physical touch. Yes.
And that's it. There's no secondary. What was the one that's like percentage is second to it? Gotta be acts of service because like
gifts.
knowing
Gifts.
knowing
It
how
was
you
gifts.
handle.
It was gifts. I don't remember all of it, y'all. I just know it was. I just remember physical touch. I'm gonna give out the list.
Acts of
I'm a
service.
G. I can't.
I spent a weekend with you, Laura. It's acts of service.
I know.
What you do for your family.
Thank you. So, Shaka, were you able to take the love language test?
No.
Okay.
I know what
Okay, you know how to take it.
I know what my love language is.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kilo, were you able to take your test?
I took a test, but I didn't know you sent the link out. I don't think I took the test.
Oh, you know what? I didn't send it to you. I'm so sorry. I didn't send it to you. I'm gonna get back to you. 1 second.
I took a different one though. Go ahead.
You took a different one? Okay,
Yeah.
Let me ask Shaka, then I'll come back to you. Shaka, what do you said you know your love language. What is your love language, Shaka? What do you assume your love language is?
I can only imagine what the fuck is about to come out of his mouth.
I kind of got an idea.
I'm gonna be respectful.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna be respectful. It's physical touch.
Physical touch. Okay.
Yeah.
Physical touch. Yes.
To be clean, physical touch.
Okay. So, Kilo, what would your test results be? Since you didn't take
the top one was quality time, and the second was active service. So it's the same as B.
Jazz's, I think.
No, it was
or
B.
Brandon's.
Yeah, Vivas. Me. He and I got the same thing. I mean, probably when he was younger, it was the opposite of that because like
before mine was active service was the first one for me before. But
have you taken the test recently though?
Well, when I took it today, that's what it was.
Okay,
active service, it was active service maybe a year ago.
A year ago? Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I know mine changed over the last like 9 years, and I didn't think it was like gonna, or 13 years. I didn't think it was gonna change that like to that moment. And I was pretty blown away by that.
Okay, so for a lot of people, okay, let me get this right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous today. So for the people out there in the social media world who may not know what 5 love languages are, the 5 love languages are examples of things that with the book is called The 5 Love Language by Gary Chapman. And he goes about this process that says that a person's love tank is on empty. I had to read this when I went to marriage counseling. So
I read that book.
Yeah, it was a really good book. It was a really good read. So
I didn't think so.
You didn't think so?
I thought
Okay,
that book
before I get into that, Shaka, why didn't you think it was a good book?
it was boring as hell to me.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit boring at first, but the more I read into it, the more I learned about myself. The book is a great book if you want to discover your love language. It is truly a guide, and you have to be dedicated to reading the book because, like Shaka said, it can be daunting at times. Like it can be like, oh my god, this is a lot of talking about nothing. Get to what my love language is.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
exactly what it was. It was a whole lot of talking about nothing. I didn't even I just asked my boy out the blue. He was like, "Yo, girl, you got any good books I can read?" And he sent me that book, and I was reading it. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna stick to it." And I got through it, and I was like, "This is too much to get to the point." It was like he took the scenic route in every chapter. I'm cool. It took me
Okay, so
reading all that book to realize that my love language is just getting blowjobs. Like that's my love language. Like, and it took me mad long,
your
mad
love language is
pages
getting
to
more.
what I already know.
Oh, Shaka, I love you. I love you, Shaka. Let's
I
get
think
serious.
you
Let's
I
get
think you
serious.
lost the meaning of that entire
Did he
the
say
you
his love
okay,
language
you were
was
lost
Getting
in
I
blowjob?
did.
translation.
I didn't lose the entire meeting. I feel closer to my significant other when I'm receiving fellatio. Like
Oh my goodness. So
I,
let me
I want
okay,
to
let
give
me
you a
take
hug.
back
Like after you
control.
give me
Let me take
fellatio
back
and the
control
hip
of this show.
fellatio. Mwah.
Let's
Shaka
get
then
Kilo in
totally
there.
went left.
He put his hand up. Let's get Kilo in there.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you why I avoided this love language conversation for like years
Uh-huh.
because it didn't really make sense to me. I would just say it now. I'm a Virgo, so I like to look at things and try to figure what's going on here. So with the love language thing, to me, at first I thought it meant what how do you communicate love, but it
Uh-huh. I
doesn't
mean it
mean that
does
though.
kind of.
But
It's also how
well,
you
when you
receive it too.
Yeah.
well when I took the test, it was all about what I like to receive myself. So
Hmm.
that whole thing threw me off because I'm like the way I just it just took me a while to like even. And
It's
plus, this is a thing that this one person just made up. So when Shaka is saying what his love language is, it's like, oh, you're not serious, but really, it's his love language.
Right.
well,
So Kilo, you said that. I'm sorry, Brandon. 1 second. You said that it threw you off, and I think it threw you off because often when we're in relationships, we are not thinking about the love that we need to receive. Because in order for you to give someone else love, you have to feel love within yourself, and your needs have to be fulfilled. That's my opinion. So I think in order for me to fill my husband's love tank, I have to have my tank full too so that I can, actually ask him and view what his love language is, so I can give it to him. And I'm a true believer in if you're not loved by yourself, you cannot give love to others.
Yeah, I just felt like just because the test is it's kind of very general. So
Hmm.
being with different people will change what I prefer.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that the whole thing just threw me for a while. I noticed that I don't want the same thing every single time I'm in a different relationship.
Oh, that makes, you know what? I like that you said that. That actually makes sense. You said it threw you off because you're not going to use the same thing for many different people.
Right.
So you think when
Just
you're
like B Vaz said, as he got older, things change. So when I get with a different person, I'm in a different space. I want different things, or I prefer different things from them.
oh,
because yes, okay, that actually makes sense. I've never thought of it that way. That actually makes perfect sense.
so this is all right. So let me go and do the Shaka thing, and then I'll do the Kilo thing, and then we'll talk about the whole thing off top. So Shaka, what I meant was you missed the meaning is because it's like a bank account. Think of
Hmm.
your love tank as a bank. You make deposits and withdrawals. If you
Right.
withdraw too much of your love tank, then what's
Hmm.
going to happen is you're going to feel like something's missing in your relationship, or you're going to feel like you're incomplete. Something's not there. Something there is missing, and then sometimes you
Lacking,
break
yeah.
up, or the relationship turns into a toxic relationship because your love tank's completely empty. So you're supposed to balance it out.
Right.
How you do for others or whatever you do to communicate your love language, right? And also how you want that love language to be given to you. So if you're asking for the physical touch, which clearly that's what you said, you're not going to go that way, but you also have to say your partner
Shut up, Jay.
partner needs to understand that they're going to want something from you too. So you have to be able to make withdrawals from her, but then she's going to have to ask for withdrawal from you so you can give it. But if as long as everybody's love tank's full, you'll be willing to do it. So that's the whole part about it. It's like, you ever been in a relationship and you're like, you're willing, and then all of a sudden you feel like, oh man, you're giving me a hard time. Screw you, blah, blah. It starts to change. Well, that's because your love tank's empty. Now for Kilo, if you're with multiple partners, love tank doesn't really make sense because that's for long-term relationships.
Right.
In short-term relationships, you can't really say like, this is what I'm going to communicate.
Because love isn't always in those short terms.
Right.
Yes.
So the love tank is like, if you're in a long, sustainable, like consistent relationship with someone, over time, things become mundane and just boring, right? So what you have to do is you keep that love tank elevated, as Lori was saying. You need to love yourself. Well, what do I love? Like, I love this about me. I love this about that. And then you have to say, well, what do I love about my partner? And then you go, well, what do I do for my partner that communicates this love language? And what do I ask of them to communicate with me so I feel that love? And so that's what the meaning is. And that's what I was saying that Shaki kind of missed it, because I think there's a little more than just that.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think
I missed it at all.
I think you don't think that you missed it at all. Okay. So I'm gonna use my relationship as an example. So short story. I want to say at our maybe 9-year mark of us being together, my husband and I, before we were married, our 9-year mark of being together, we kind of, no, it wasn't marriage counsel. No, we was married. No, I'm sorry. We were married. I want to say about 9-year mark of actually just being together fully. We started to have some issues, and the issues that I was feeling from my spouse, what I was feeling from my spouse was I didn't feel like he was affectionate or not enough, or I felt I was lacking. I definitely was lacking love. I felt like I was lacking love, and I felt like I was lacking attention. And it took for me to go to a marriage counselor because I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here. I want to fix it. I don't know how to do this. We don't know how to do this on our own. So I get to a marriage counselor, and she tells me about this book. And I ended up reading the book, and I was really baffled, kind of like how you said, Shaka, because I'm not even going to lie. I did not read it the first time, the second time, or the third time. It literally took the 5th time for me to read this book because it was so hard to get into, and I couldn't put pride aside because I was like, how am I going to read a book that's going to tell me about my love language? I know I like kisses, hug, and food. Like, if you don't bring me some food, because I honestly thought my love language was food. Bring me some chicken wings with some ranch dressing and some blue cheese, you know? But the more I kind of got into the book and I read the book, I realized that I needed more touching, more affection and affirmation. And my husband was, his love language test said that he likes service, acts of service. So then I was like, dang, okay, so he likes for me to cook, clean, and do those things, and I want to be touched, but he's not really touchy-feely. How am I going to feel his love tank while he feels mine? And so what I would start doing is I would be like, okay, let me ask him what he wants done. So I'll be like, hey, babe, you want me to do this for you today? Let me handle this so you don't have to worry about this. And this one less thing taken off your back. And I started to see when he came home and he had one less thing to worry about, he was a little bit happier. And then that's when he wanted to cuddle and hug because I took and I fulfilled what he needed. And that was something to be done. And lo and behold, that was something that was stressing him out. And I didn't know it because he didn't communicate it with me. But once I met his need, bam, I started getting some action. Simon quit playing. But so Jazz, I know you had your hand up. Did you have something you wanted to say? No? Okay, so
oh Lord.
Who on here? Okay, go ahead, Shaka.
while you was trying to figure out what can we do to fill each other's love tank. Like, do you ever just cook naked?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Sweep the floor naked.
I'm
Like,
definitely not answering that.
Like,
But
no, I'm not trying to get in your personal business. I'm saying that could have alleviated a whole lot of problems. The last woman I dated, this woman had the body was just magnificent. She kind of looked. She had a magnificent body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I would get more turned on when I see her with a long T-shirt and a hair wrap sweeping the floor. That shit would give me so much wood that a cat couldn't scratch it. Like real shit. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I'm just imparting that idea to you because I know that worked for me.
So acts of service is one of his love language.
Okay, we figured that out too.
No, it wasn't an act of service. She was cleaning her floor. I didn't live there. But if I see her cleaning her floor, it was just like, ooh.
So let me before we had more kids, I think, let me say this before I answer that. I think in relationships when you have children, and you can't do certain things like that before you had kids, I think that kind of you guys start ignoring your love language and start ignoring the things that you need to give each other, which is that sexual, that sexual what is it? What am I looking for?
Sexual healing, Marvin Gaye.
Yes, that's what it's called, sexual healing. You don't get a chance to get it in as much, and you definitely don't have the options of. I'm trying to be so PG. You don't have the options of being how Shaka said in the kitchen and trying to do this and be all sexy. Because if I get in the kitchen in my T-shirt and my headscarf and I'm trying to whip up some breakfast, I'm gonna have a child on my hip. I'm gonna have a child on my leg. Mommy, what's this for me? So I think.
And that, my friends, are why children are trash.
No, don't say that. Children are not trash. I think that as you're growing in your marriage or in your relationship, we have to set out time for us to be able to have times like that. And I think that is both spouses and I'm sorry, guys, I don't know what's wrong with today. That's both partners' love language is being able to have the children away and being able to satisfy each other's needs sensually. A
lot of relationships start to tank because they get so wrapped up in being mommy and daddy that they forget to be husband and wife.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, Shaka. Let me tell you. Listen. Kilo, do you have children?
Yes, I have 3 of them. Married with 3 children.
Are you? Oh, you are. So let me ask you this question.
I'm in my second marriage. The military way. I was a Navy vet.
You said the military way.
Exactly, sir. First one's a mulligan. Always a mulligan.
Come on, man.
Let me ask you a question. How do you and your spouse feel your sensual needs while having children? To fill each other's love tank sensually.
While having children, strict bedtimes for the kids. Mm-hmm. I know in our generation, a lot more people just let their kids stay up like super late or just until they fall asleep.
Sorry,
but I don't. Like my youngest is out at 6:30, second one 7:30, third one who's 9 years old 9 o'clock. So that's the full night to do whatever needs to be done.
I like that. Okay, military man.
Like that. Yep.
So now when the kids are in bed, how do you initiate with your wife because I don't know what her love language is. Like, how do you initiate making her still feel beautiful, seen, and loved, even though, she's always in mommy mode or wife mode?
Well, I don't do a good job at that, Okay. So I probably don't have a good method for that, So I'm not the one to ask.
Okay.
We got to be honest.
So that's true. So that's something that you would say that you're working on. I would. Let me tell you, I believe that you're not the only man who's going through that. I think a lot of men are trying to figure out how to be more affectionate and show their loved one, well, their significant other, that sensitive and romantic side of them. Because with you being a working man, a military man, and working on your business, I'm sure your time get hectic, and the last thing on your mind, you're thinking about being, romantic. You're making sure the bills are taken care of, the kids are good, so you just want to come home and just like, okay, it's time for me to hit this.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
This the thing, right? Because when I think about the love language quiz, the more and more I think about it, the more it sounds to me less like a love language and more like a maintenance type of thing. Like you should, because when I've taken the test, it just hit me that my answers are changing because I'm answering questions based on what I feel like I'm lacking at that moment,
Right.
and I'm like, I want this, so this is what I prefer. You know what I'm saying? I might need to take one of these every few months, just to turn it in and say, hey, here's my assignment for the few months. This is what I'm looking for right now.
You know,
it's always good to take assessments. It is
right.
Always
Right.
good to collect them.
Right.
Always, but do it with your partner, because
Right.
then you have that communication. Both.
You know, we trying to take words out of my mouth. I feel that. And you know what, Kilo, what you said, that is so important, because we grow and we change, and people think that's a yearly thing. No, that's a monthly thing. That could be a daily thing. Each day you might find something new that satisfies you, or what you used to feel has changed because you have elevated. You no longer need the physical touch part all the time, because you've learned to be by yourself and independent, where you don't always need someone to kind of touch on you all the time. So that is so smart and so wise. I love that you said that. Anyone else want to say anything about the love language?
Yeah, you guys ever been, in jail and you in the showers, like falling down the crack of his head?
Right.
I'm just fooling y'all.
I'm just playing.
I just playing.
See the cards. Right.
So
Won't be a minute reference, guys.
Well, look, ladies, listen, ladies, love language. Acts of service, ladies. Not y'all per se. No disrespect to anybody.
We know you're not talking about us.
Yeah. Just want all the ladies in the world to know that blowjobs are like flowers for men.
That's an act of service, but
okay, so we're gonna
the flowers, because the flowers are the. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's.
My man Kilo just nodded his head just like that when I said blowjobs like flowers.
So how about this? I want to ask the men. I'm gonna start with Shaka, and then Brandon and Kilo. Give me 3 of the top things that you think that you will want from your spouse or your significant other. Doesn't necessarily have to be a love language, but it is 3 things that make you feel loved, appreciated, and wanted.
3 things.
Yes.
Good conversation.
Okay, that's 1. Good conversation.
Good conversation.
2.
Flowers.
Really? You want flowers? Okay. Affirmation flowers or actual flowers, Shaka?
Revert back to my earlier comment. So, good conversation, flowers. 3. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that 3rd one, but I'm a sucker for good conversation and flowers. But good conversation maybe it's the women I choose, but I like women that I can learn from. Like a lot of women I talk to, I can dance them around in circles, and it's bad. So when I actually meet women that can actually teach me something,
I like that.
My soul and everything goes right with it.
I think everyone should have someone in their life that they can learn from. Go ahead, B.
That challenges you. Yeah.
I need to be challenged.
Mine is it's gonna be weird, but want Vanessa to watch Westworld with me. So I wanted to put interest in things that I like, that I get a lot out of. I would like for something that I watch or something that I'm into that my partner will pick up and be like, become a fan of the fan.
You want them to grow into interest in the things that you like.
Yeah. So like I'll watch something that she watches, I'll make fun of it, but then I'm asking questions because I'm starting to
Interesting.
like trying to get into it and understand why she's interested in this.
Because that makes you
And
feel like you connect with her
I'm
and she
connecting,
connects
right?
with you. I
Yeah.
like that.
So that's what I would like. Also to be in the bathroom at the same time, you know, pooping or peeing while she's in the shower. That'd be cool. She don't like that. It's weird.
Some
It's
people
weird.
aren't comfortable with that.
I just think it's ridiculous because we got one bathroom, so I'm like, it's got to happen one day.
I'm gonna tell y'all
right?
something that's gonna drop y'all jaw to the floor. Go
And
ahead.
and then my last one, 3 things. So the other one is having that ability to say what you feel and say what you think, and then not feel that judgment or any type
Yeah.
of like, hey,
To be
you
raw
know,
and honest.
right? To have that honesty with each other. So if I say, hey, this is the thing, or if I tell her something's bothering me, she'd be like, hey, you know, maybe you should make an appointment with your doctor. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. And then I'll do that. And I'll say the same for her. And if there's something that's bugging her or something she's suffering from or bothered by, I'll be like, call your doc. It might be
You
something.
can do that. You can do that.
What?
You can do that with your girl. Be like, hey, you don't seem like yourself, and she don't trip.
Yeah, she'll do that to me. She'll challenge me on that.
Well, I understand you because you're a being of logic.
So what he is saying is, can you do that to her? Can you say, hey, listen?
I do say it. I do. And if she trips, oh well, I'm just be like, look, you tell me, you challenge me in this stuff, so I'm challenging you. It really doesn't. I just like out of sight, out of mind. If you try to get upset, I'm gonna push right through it. But like, doesn't matter because you know we have this conversation. It has to be
important though, because when you have someone, when you know something isn't right with that person, whether it's mentally or just physically, if you love that person, you care about them, you're going to tell them, hey, listen, I don't think that you're okay today. I would love for you to go get checked out without them flipping or spazzing, because you're showing them, hey, I care. And for someone to be able to receive that, that is important too. You want someone who is open to receiving, you just showing that you care. Yeah. Kilo, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. What high school did you go to, Alora?
I went to Wilson.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you. I thought you looked familiar, like somebody that went to early college with me. Okay, a younger person. But if you went to Wilson, you're not younger than me. Okay.
What you say? You're not it.
Oh, we calling you.
I graduated. No, I graduated 08. So I just you look like.
Oh, I am younger than you.
Are you?
Wait,
yes.
What? You graduated in 08. Graduated what? College or high school?
High school in 08.
Oh man, you are a lot younger than us.
Wilson
no,
closed
he's not.
in 07.
I'm older than him. I graduated in 07.
I'm gonna be 37
Brandon.
next month. What's that?
Brandon, you know what?
I'm talking about me and Shaka. I'm not talking about
if
y'all.
we went to school together, that means we're the same age. I said we're younger than him.
What do you mean we went to school together? You
Wilson
said you was in kindergarten when I was.
Well, no, you told on yourself when you named a school that closed in 07. So
right.
Oh, you dated yourself? Wilson's closed? When did it close?
In 07 it closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to.
All right, so all right, sorry for that tangent. I would say I gotta take answers from both Shaka and B Vaz.
Okay.
I definitely feel appreciated when I get flowers or different various, sometimes tulips, sometimes daisies. So I'm following the Shaka metaphor here. Okay. If y'all didn't know. All right.
It means the one on the toilet and then the one.
Not the Blumpkin.
Lord have mercy.
But okay, so some of that activity, some of that physical touch, delving deeper into that, exploring various options in that realm. I do like I would like, let me see here. I definitely want to be taught some things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on that. I wasn't a good student because for whatever reason teachers didn't like me and I didn't like them. So that's fine. But I like to learn. I always like learning. Got in a program and I didn't go to school for it. I taught myself and then I got a job based on what I learned just from reading programming books, right? So I'm into that. I want you to teach me something. I definitely have plenty I could teach. And then I would say just showing appreciation.
Right.
However, I guess to say thank you whenever
Affirmation.
if you notice that I did something, or really, I guess if I do something for you or for the household or whatever, notice it.
Yes.
Don't just expect that. Okay, since this is the norm, that this will just always be the norm, and I don't need to show appreciation for it, type of thing.
I like that. Yes.
Can I ask you guys a question? Kilo and Alora.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I guess this all falls into the love language thing. Matter of fact, no, go ahead.
Lord have mercy.
I got.
Let me ask Jazz, then I'll give you guys my three. Jazz, same question. What are the three things that you think that you would need from someone? Like I said, it doesn't have to particularly be a love language, but three things that make you feel special.
24-hour weed
and
on call.
appreciate it.
She laughing because she know I ain't bullshitting. She need the weed man on call.
Lord.
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, go ahead.
I don't need it on call when I can find it myself. I don't need nobody to do that.
Okay, because we got some other stuff we got to get to, y'all. Let's go ahead. We had 36 minutes. Let's go ahead, Jazz. Go ahead. Give us your three.
Listening is a big one. Like, if I, like, it could just be a random conversation, whatever, it's like, if I say something, it's like, if you don't remember it right then, maybe in a week, a month, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you can repeat it back to me, or you say something of that instance. It's like, okay, they were listening. Cool. That's really only my one. Like,
really?
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Listening.
That's just always
right.
Like,
oh, Brandon, you jack, but
wait, what the fuck? What are you trying to say?
I was wondering if you said anything.
Okay, so
we heard something, but we not sure.
I definitely have three. Jazz, my boo don't have three because Jazz, like, I don't give a shit, but I do. So I would definitely say number one is listening. I would have to agree with Jazz. Listening for me is number one, because if you're listening to me, that means that we're having an intellectual conversation and a stimulating conversation. I love to have good conversation because it lets me gauge the person that I'm talking to, and I get to know a little bit more about the way they think, the way they operate, and the more you talk to someone, the more they reveal themselves to you. And I think for me, like how Kilo said, people change. And the more I talk to you, the more I'm going to know, like, certain signs if you change, if you need something more from me. So that is definitely number one for me. Number two, I would have to say I need affirmation. I definitely need affirmation because it pushes me to do better. Like, if someone says, hey, good job on this, you did this, I liked that, I'm going to look at the work that I did or whatever the situation is, and I'm going to keep on pushing harder. So, like, hubby came home and he liked the way I cleaned the house, particularly today. Ooh, it smells extra nice in here today, because he likes to walk in the door and the house smells really good. Then I'm going to do extra hard. Like, I'm going to work extra hard to get it better. You know what I'm saying? Or he'd be like, dang, I walked in this house. You can't even tell the 7 kids live here. And I'm like, yes, got it. Nailed it. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And then, I want to say affection. I'm an affectionate person. Like, I need to know that you're into me, you love me. I want some hugs. Like, when you come through the door, like, I just want to hug you. And I'm the type of person, like, I get excited when, like, I see my husband. If I drop my husband off at work and he comes home in the lift, I'm usually waiting at the driveway, like a little kid. And, like, I'm running to him and I'm hugging him. Because, like, it's like, I miss you all day with your stinking ass. What have you been doing? You know, let me love on you. And that's, like, kind of the way I show love. So, like, I guess I'd be willing to receive that too, you know. But those are my three things. So extra. I'm a very extra person. I'm hard to deal with. But, I had something to say. Brandon, you said you wanted somebody to be in the bathroom with you while you dropping the deuce, right?
Yeah.
I literally... You know what I'm about to say, right, Kane? Okay, because I like for my husband to be in the bathroom when I'm going to the bathroom holding my hand.
Say
You
what?
know what I'm saying? It's okay, guys. It's okay. Make
Well,
it one.
I don't want you to repeat that, but repeat that.
I like for my husband to be in the bathroom while I'm holding my hand, like holding my hand.
Like you
Yeah.
having a baby or something.
That's connecting with the person.
It
That's
is like
weird.
when he's in there talking to me,
Okay.
or like I'm using the bathroom, I'm kind of like he's in front of me, and I'm hugging on his leg. I'm telling you, like I'm not clingy or anything. Like
Stage
you can't
5
walk
clinger
out.
right here,
No,
guys.
No,
Oh,
like
yeah,
he can walk
that's
out the
not-
door. He
that's
can walk
not
out the
clingy
door
at
and be
all.
okay.
Yeah.
But like
Category
when he's here, like when we first started dating, like I would just smell his clothes. Like I would take his hoodie, like his hoodie that he got from YSU, and I would just wear it and just like stuff like that. Because like when he was
Somebody
away,
did that to me.
What now?
Somebody did that to me.
What?
Smelled my underwear.
Now I
No.
draw the line there.
No.
They were clean. They were
No,
clean.
no,
I was like,
I would take him and like
why
he'd be like
are
next to
you
me.
smelling my underwear? What if they were worn already? She was like, yeah, more flavor.
I mean, my husband like to smell my underwears too, though. So it was like some people that's just like their thing. Like he used to like just, and I thought it was sexy. It used to turn me on. I was like, boy, go ahead, smell that thing. Let me put it.
Now I understand your premise
behave today.
because dude probably smelling that shit to figure out if this relationship's gonna go any further. Me on the other hand,
Wow.
What the hell?
I'm not saying that as a shot, but I know we all been in that situation where, well, the guys in the room, you have a situation with a female, and before going
Baby,
down,
Tracy, laugh out
you
loud.
be like, real quick, just to see if this is gonna go any further, or if you gonna have to pump the brakes.
So you feel like chicks don't do that?
Huh?
You feel like chicks don't do that?
Yeah, they'd be like, ew, dick cheese, get out.
Yeah, like no, like no, women will put our hands down there, rub on it a little bit and take it out, and go like this because we want to make sure it don't smell like rotten sausage, like if it ain't got that little tang, that little mustiness, I'm like, oh, it's a go. But if it got that little, oh nigga, you need to go home.
The twang.
That little tang.
The twang.
She said what I scroll into.
Yes, Miss Trice, I feel the same way, and I've been here the whole time.
Man, listen. Let's get into this Irv Gotti and Ashanti.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh, I saw this in passing. It's Irv Gotti. They got ate up by Eminem.
Oh my gosh. So listen, guys. If you guys have not seen it, Irv Gotti went on to this, I think it's called Drinking Champs. It's a podcast.
Drink Champs, Noriega's podcast.
Yes, it's really dope. I really love Noriega. The first song I always think about him is I'm a G. Top down, I'm a G. I love that song. But anyways, so he went on to that podcast and he decided to spill the beans about him and Ashanti's relationship. So this crazy man said he found out that the woman that he was in love with, and I quote, was cheating on him with another man when he got the NBA package because he likes to watch basketball, right? And he's sitting on the couch at home and he says, and everyone's going wild in the stadium. Oh my goodness, Nelly just walked in with Ashanti. That's what he said. That's how he worded it, right? And so he said that he was with Ashanti every day for like 2 years straight, like every day. And he's like, I was really, upset because the woman I was in love with, here she is with, what's her name? Nelly, Country Grammar, right? And a lot of his feelings were hurt, right? But for those who don't know, Irv Gotti was married.
He wasn't married at the time. They weren't
married.
They were separated at the time.
It's still technically married, sir.
They weren't separated. He said that they were on the. I think she said the wife was there or something. They weren't separated
at that particular time. They were together, hanging Netflix and chilling, whatever the fuck they were doing. But they weren't together. They weren't living together. They weren't doing any of the such.
Okay, but fellas, well, first of all, let me ask Jazz. Jazz, how do you feel He said, Irv was with Shanti in his dreams. Nah, I believe him.
My
He ain't
dreams
lying.
too.
He ain't
My
lying.
dreams too.
So, Jazz, how do you feel about Irv spilling the beans? Should he have just kept that to himself?
He waited, 20 fucking years basically to say something about it? It's like 20 years. Like, I mean, if you felt some type of way about it, okay, cool, whatever. I mean, you can't judge nobody on how they feel, but 20 years, like, stupid.
Right.
Like, I think after so long, he should just kept the shit to himself, or not even if he didn't keep it to himself, just told her about it, not going on a whole damn podcast and saying it. And it's like,
I think his vagina was hurt.
Something. If I was his wife and he would have said that to me, I probably would have blocked him in his fucking face. Like,
right. I'm talking to my lawyers, my divorce lawyers. I'm like, this man has willingly admitted that he was cheating on me for 2 years with this woman. And then I'm sorry, but I'm going after Shanti's pockets too.
But also as well, he has to think, like, she was then a single woman. He was married.
Right.
You thought she was going to be out, like, dating or doing anything else with somebody? She thought she was just going to sit there and wait for your ass? Like,
think not. So let's ask our guest, Kilo. What do you think? Do you think Irv Gotti should have sat on this? And why do you think he decided to wait 20 plus years to tell the world?
I'm thrown off by the timeline because I didn't really get into like the celebrity gossip world till I started my podcast 2016. So pretty much everything before that is like I'm not familiar with. But the timeline seems off. It's like, was he messing with her 20 years ago, or was he messing with? Because he said something about her. They were still dealing with each other around his Fed case, which was like closer to 2010. So I'm thrown off by this whole time. I don't think it was 20 years ago. So I feel like they have been messing with each other, and he just hasn't gone anywhere and talked about it. I don't know, but he definitely wasn't still with his wife because he had a reality show in 2007, and they were separated already then. I used to watch the show. He used to come over his ex-wife's house. I used to watch the show.
No. This is when he said, remember that one video? Dang, I forget the song. Leave that comment up. What's the name of the song? He said this. The name of the song was Happy. When Happy came out, I think he was still with his wife, because that's what the timeline I'm looking at. He's like,
I don't know the timeline. What's the timeline?
Said,
like when did you start messing with her?
That would have to be like.
Can somebody Google when Happy came out?
I don't remember when Happy came out, but
we about to get it.
Murder Inc. was finished around 2007, so it had to be in 2003, 4.
Save said probably because he was trying to control her men with the little power trend to think of women as property. Yeah.
Okay, so
2002. Happy came out.
So he was
2003.
So he was
married.
He was cheating on his wife with Ashanti, but to me,
2002.
I don't get the relation to the conversation. If somebody's saying, "Hey guys, I was hurt by something," is it like, well, you did this thing wrong, so your hurt don't matter? I don't know. I don't get it. But
no, his hurt matters. His hurt matters.
He's just talking about his hurt. On the podcast, you could tell this dude was clearly still hurt about Ashanti, even though he said 1,000 times he wasn't. He said
he was in love with her, and if you're in love with someone, that's not no hurt that just goes away.
Oh well,
she broke that man.
He's a bit obsessed with Ashanti, and I mean, a lot of people feel like they would be obsessed with Ashanti because she's one of the hottest 40-year-olds in the game right now.
She hot right? No. He loved her.
He's obsessed now.
She wasn't hot back then. No, she was average. She was customizably average back then.
I think the more other men wanted her, the more desirable she became to him.
It made him more obsessed.
And now that he isn't the type of man who can just click his fingers or click his little heels and get any woman that he wants, I think that he feels some type of way because he's used to getting, ass thrown at him. And
listen, that dude just, whatever he did, he just got 300 of them fangs. All right.
So he'll be getting some more young tenderonis again.
Get more young tenderonis. He can pretty much get any woman that he wants.
You can get any tenderoni, but if they're not on a stature as a Ashanti, who knows what her conversation is like? Who knows
Listen, who
what
cares?
level they connected to?
Listen,
You're not.
listen.
Well, he
Those
said it. He
connections are
said
hard
that
to
this
come
was.
by.
He said this was the only woman in my life that I could sit and talk to. So
She
yeah,
broke him.
you're right about that.
Yeah.
She broke him. That only tells me that her fox is fire.
So
It's
hang
not
on.
always about that.
Because
I'm
she
gonna
was
tell you-
not as good looking as she was back then.
Well, check
She
this.
was
When I
a
was growing up,
6
though,
at best.
when I was
No,
growing
That
up,
no.
the conversation and the
Wait,
fire was what it was.
Shaka, let me say this real quick. She was as fine as she was back then, but she was
No, the hell she wasn't.
Wait a minute. She was
Can
that
anybody
fine
hear
without
me?
makeup. Makeup has changed now.
Am I muted?
So all of her features are more enhanced now. But she definitely was that good looking.
I hear you.
No, she wasn't.
Oh,
She
okay. I
looks
thought I
way
was
better
the
without
only
makeup
one.
anyways.
Because
No,
I
I-
was trying to
was
like
trying
say
to go.
something for like 10 minutes, y'all.
Go ahead, Brandon. I'm
Fuck.
sorry.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, Frank Castle.
yeah, y'all know.
Go
So
ahead.
back when I was growing up, as Shaka had said, she was a 6, but no. The 6 was because of her side brows. Now she had some
Yes.
thickety thick boys that came all the way down here. That
Women
was
with
turn off for me,
sideburns got that fire.
boy. But
He said could have been.
I think
that he really
she
would have
saw
been
the
sick.
signs and left clearly ahead of time before it got bad. But she saw how low he was going, in life because M ate him up like so bad. Hail Mary, like if you watch that one, oh my gosh, Murder Inc.'s done. And when you can't rep Murder Inc. when Eminem just destroyed you. So she's like, dude, ill, you smell like French fries. I'm out.
Right, he
went
looks
back
like
to
he
the
smells
fry
like
cook.
fries.
That's
You
not
gotta become a fry cook.
that ain't a stat to me. I mean,
Exactly.
she's a
Same.
foul dude. She left the dude while
Same.
his shit was sinking, while everything was crumbling around him, and she left.
Yep.
That would make me hate her, not obsessed.
Say,
But we don't.
But he's
None
obsessed
of us-
over it though.
None
Same
of us have
Trice
the right
said
to.
no one was good looking as they are now, except Lil Kim. Laugh out loud.
Oh no.
That's wrong.
Talk about
That's
it.
just
Someone
wrong.
that
That's so wrong on so many levels.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Hold on, I got one thing that somebody commented. It was a good comment. It was about control. Yeah, he is obsessed because he don't have that control over it no more. Also, it's the whole thing with people being obsessed with their high school highlights. It's like Irv is he wants everybody to know, hey, he likes screaming at the top of his lungs, I had her. He wants he want to keep on. He's going to keep on saying it. He's not going to stop saying it because Ashanti is so lit right now.
Right.
And he wants that's why she's not talking about it. She's probably embarrassed that she dealt with him.
She is, because you know what? I believe when she dealt with him, she seen this person who was a little bit older than her. He was established, and she probably, to be honest, men don't want to admit this. Women, well, I'm not men, but women. Women, when we date older guys, I know it seems sick, but we see them as a father figure. Like, I think more so of learning from them, because men who are older, they're seasoned. They've been around for a long time. They have some knowledge to drop on them. At least that's how I feel. They have some knowledge to drop on me. They're going to help me grow and elevate. And I think that's what it was. But I think that he didn't want to give her the commitment that she wanted, because no one knew about that relationship. She probably wanted to go public, but he didn't want to go public. He wanted to spoil her and send her off and do all of this. And for a long time, I think she took it. And then she probably looked in the mirror like, bitch, I'm Ashanti. I'm fine as hell. Let me go about my business. Because believe me, all the male celebrities was trying to holler at her. But like you said, Kilo, she popping now, and he's like, oh my goodness.
She's popping where?
Ashanti is
popping on
shows. She's booking shows back to
Instagram.
back. No, she's out here making her coin. Her and Ja Rule have been touring all over the place. And
her and who?
Her and Ja Rule.
Who?
And let me say this.
And that means that they popping because they don't. No, that means that they're touring artists.
They're very
she's
hungry.
popping. She's popping. And let me say this real quick.
Yahoo.
Let me say this real quick.
Yahoo.
So I don't know if you guys know, she had to redo all of her old songs because Irv would not let her make no money off of him because he was so bitter because of that Nelly situation.
Irving got control of those masters. Those masters are controlled by Universal Music and the music that gets samples.
Ja Rule did an interview. Hold on. Ja Rule did an interview, and he said that he didn't want to get into the middle of it between her and Irv about her masters. So he
let me-
has to own some parts of her masters.
This the
And
thing.
Ja Rule,
Oh,
He
Ja Rule
probably
said,
owns her.
that's my big bro and that's my little sis.
He
Irv-
probably
Irv
owns
did own
her vocal recordings, but a lot of the music, especially the hit records, are all sample records. So there's a chance that Irv don't even own those. That's the publishing company.
No,
Irv
he
gotta
owns
take
them
that up
because
with Universal.
she went on to Today's show and talked about it.
Let Kilo talk.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead,
I was
Kilo.
My
saying
bad, partner.
he discussed that in this same interview. He
Yeah.
does own the masters. He said I don't have them my artists in 360 deals. I'm a label owner. I can't make money off of shows like y'all can. Y'all can make money off of shows, merch,
Mhm.
everything. The only way a label owner makes money is from the masters. So he said, yes, I own the masters, and yes, I'm never giving them to her. She can't have them. That's how I make my money. But like Shaka said a little bit ago, he just did a massive $300 million deal. He pretty much sold the publishing.
So he doesn't own them anymore.
Well, yeah, he just sold them though. But for a
But
long
yeah.
time, she was
But that's
battling
why
with him.
she had to redo all her songs.
Well, she tried to, and it was a terrible attempt though. If you heard
Yeah,
any of it,
yeah.
Yeah, it was different. It was different.
terrible.
But I want to get to these questions. I'm gonna leave this alone because I have some questions. And
Now, hold on. I'm so sorry. Like, I have to get this off. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
About the Irv situation, he said a lot of goofy shit in that interview, right?
Mhm.
A lot of goofy shit. But I think it's unfair for anybody to say that he's looking bad or he's doing some cornball shit, because
It's corny.
none of us. How is it? Nobody has the nobody can put an expiration date on somebody else's pain.
Is
can't-
it?
Hold
It's-
on.
Go
You
ahead,
can't-
Shaka.
and if a woman was to do that shit, you'd be like, "Oh, speak your truth, queen. Speak your truth, queen." Fucking Selena Gomez was dating The Weeknd. Is it true that he gave this bitch a kidney or some shit like that?
No, that was
He got one of these. The Weeknd gave this bitch her kidney, and then she left this nigga and then started doing songs about Justin Bieber. And you know what women said? Speak your truth, sis. So when a woman does that shit, is alright, but when Irv do that shit, he's a clown. This is why men don't talk.
But she didn't talk about him sexually though. This is my thing though. Like
That I know I'm saying he did goofy shit, but the all in all, that man is in pain. She broke that nigga.
So I'm not saying that. Listen, I don't agree with Shanti at all. I actually think that his wife should talk to a lawyer and see about suing her ass, since it's all out here. And I think that the wife should go after his ass again for something. And there's a lot of women out here who are praising Ashanti. But my whole thing is, woman, you was sleeping with a married man, and he was married when Happy came out. And we don't know how long she worked in the studio with that song and how long it was on ice. So, you know. But anyways, I'm not.
She had Nelly dissing this nigga on records and all that shit.
I'm not minimizing his pain. But just because I'm hurting does not mean I can go out and lash out at someone else and just exploit them or just put their business out there. You know what I'm saying? I just think that was so wrong. It's distasteful. I don't agree with what she did. I think more people should be looking into her character of why was you messing with this married man? You know what I'm saying? I think that she did hurt him. But at the same time, I think that he inflicted hurt on her too. Hurt people hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a two-way street.
Can we be clear that he's not putting her business out there? He's telling his story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's telling his story. I get that. But
she's involved in his story.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like this sexual nature, like, you know.
Look,
No, he said a lot of goofy shit, but Laura, you have to be objective at some point.
If
you're on the
I'll
side
say
of the
this.
woman, it doesn't matter what way of the pendulum.
No, even if it was a man, me being grown, I just feel like if I tell somebody, hey, I'm gonna let you hit this, but this is just, you know, we just hitting it. You better shut the fuck up. Don't tell nobody. Don't fuck up my home.
I'm gonna tell.
Like, I'm just saying, shut the fuck up. Why you need to let everybody know you done ate the pebbles? You know what I'm saying? Or ate the Cheerios or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't need to know you ate her ass. Like, you know, keep that to yourself.
I
knew her shit was fire because of the sideburns. Anyway.
Wow. I
said got sideburns like a nigga in the 70s.
So
Morgan,
I put it in the
Morgan
chat.
said, let me read this comment real quick. She said, I wonder if he ever said, I'll cancel you if you don't sleep with me. I doubt that.
Nah, no
I
way.
doubt that.
That was years before that.
Yeah, he legit loved that girl.
So the thing I put in the chat, right? I'll say it right now. It's like if I got my record company destroyed by one man, and his name was Eminem, White Bull, I'd be in pain to
He's
this
a white
day.
boy.
He didn't get destroyed. They didn't get destroyed by Eminem. They got destroyed by the feds.
Y'all said
by the tax, IRS.
Nope. Hail Mary completely eliminated these guys. Okay?
No, it didn't.
Yes. They were falling, and they were falling.
I didn't hear it, so I can't speak on that.
Yahoo had terrible freaking songs coming out, and then Eminem, he tried to beef with 50 Cent.
Honestly, I thought it was 50. I thought it was a beef with 50.
It was 50. 50 dissed Ja Rule for the songs that he was doing when they didn't start doing the exact same kind of music.
Exactly. Like
kind
how
of
you gonna
goofy
talk
shit
about
is
this
that?
man singing and dancing, and then you talking about I'll take you to the candy shop. Like,
Yeah, and Hail Mary was a good record, but that wasn't no career-ending record. Like,
no, it was. After that, the Murder Inc. ceased to exist. You know what year that came out? Hail Mary came out in 2004. 2004 wintertime. And you know when Murder Inc. stopped being relevant? That summer. Because there was no way they were going to have anything out. The only person who survived,
they lost their deal.
and she separated herself from Murder Inc.
And that makes her a crime.
Lloyd was around too.
Say what?
Lloyd was dropping after that too.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, but the fans,
and you know what? Lloyd had to speak about that too, because Lloyd ended up doing a song with 50 Cent. And Lloyd was like, he felt like Ja Rule and them was mad at him, but he was like, at the same time, I gotta make my money. I ain't got time to be in the middle of y'all beef. And you know, that's what Lloyd was saying. Like that beef between 50 kind of it made things hard for
50 is a chess player. 50 is a chess player, man. Because when Cam he got Lloyd, when Dipset was beefing, when he done had Jim Jones in his videos, like yo, 50 is a scumbag.
He is.
But he's a
businessman. He's a brilliant businessman, but scum he is.
You know what, guys? We're gonna go over this one. We'll go over this one. Ways to keep the love alive in a relationship. We'll go over that Thursday. Because y'all don't never let me stay on track, bro. Y'all don't never.
Laura, I am so sorry.
It's okay. I love you guys. I love it. So Morgan said that's one back then though. If you ever get to hear the stories from the women in the industry around that time, it was all the if you didn't. Yeah, I believe that, but I don't believe that was the situation with Ashanti. I do believe that. Actually, that was a big thing back in the day, even for actresses, songstress, and even the men in the music industry. You had to sleep your way to the top. You know, Rihanna was one of those people who didn't have to do that. They said they brought Rihanna into Jay-Z's office and had her sing a cappella, and he signed her right then and there. And there's certain women like Tierra Marie, they say, you know, young girls, she had to do something, you know. I don't know, but that was allegedly. I don't know how true that is. But I mean, the thing with 3LW, that's why that group disbanded, allegedly, was because Adrian Bailon and the girl Keely were around here sleeping around, and the girl Notori wasn't down for none of that. And they started to spread false rumors about her, and yeah, those allegedly was the things that was going on in Hollywood. So yeah,
and how ironic now, and how ironic because now Notori gets fucked in every movie she's in,
and get paid buku money.
Listen, in my neighborhood, we don't call women thoughts; we call them Tasha St. Patrick, and that's a fact. Remember that?
Oh wow!
She throw people with pussy curveball at 90 miles an hour.
Wow, she did get done up which way in Biggie too, that notorious movie. So Kilo, what I want you to do, sir, is to shout out your podcast and let everybody know where they can catch you at what date and time.
All right. Again, thank y'all. You can find the regular podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google. I use a podcast app called Podcast Addict, but you know you can listen on. You use it too. Okay, mm-hmm. So you can listen on SoundCloud, everywhere. The video podcast comes out weekly on the regular network on youtube.com. Also, I definitely need to get my followers up. I need to get the Reddit community up. So find the regular topics on Reddit join that. Let's get some conversations going. And if you want to see some merch, go to www.theregularnetwork.com/shop. Yes.
All right. So, guys, my crew, if you guys can kindly follow him on those sites that you guys that he just said, and also, can you please follow us back too? We would love and appreciate it. And guys, for whoever's watching, you guys just heard him. He told you where you can hear him at and check him out at, and even get merchandise. Make sure you guys check out this gentleman. He had very insightful information, and I love your cool demeanor. Yes, with that suave voice. Go ahead, get it, sir. I love that. I enjoyed your time here. Thank you so much for coming on here and dropping some knowledge on us and having some stimulating conversations. And excuse me for all the technical difficulties I was having with enunciation today. I appreciate all you guys. I always get so happy when I see you guys in Shaka. It was especially nice to see you today, my friend. Especially nice. And as always, we're going to send out our warm love to our brother. We're waiting for him to, make a full comeback. We love you, and we're thinking about you. You know who you are. We're always going to be praying for you. You're always in our thoughts. We love you so much. Guys, make sure you guys check me out every Tuesday at 9:45 p.m. And we are going to be doing some Thursdays. We won't have a regular Thursday, but the Thursdays will be scattered. So you can check us out at 9:45. Time will always be 9:45. Please follow us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you can stream us. We are there. Trust me. Don't forget to go to our IG page, our fan page, which is The Lauren Hour. And guys, make sure you tune in this Thursday, because I will have my homeboy Aaron Poindexter and Platinum P. I can't wait to have him on. It's going to be a great time, and I hope that I was able to help someone with all my babbling. But I hope we gave you guys some good information. We love you guys. Peace.
Can I say